room full of stunners. Bill gun up on shot, get run up, shut up. Your mouth get stun up, shut up. All of my stunners gon' run up, get run up, 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 get run up, run up, run up, run up, run up.
Bruh.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night. I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Mm. Hi. I forgot to unclick the mute button on my OBS. Um. Hi. Hi, everybody. It's me. It's Big. See, even without the VTuber model, you still can't. I'm still stupid. It doesn't really matter whether it's up or not. But yeah, you can see my face. It's me. You'll get to watch the life drain from my eyes as the stupidity unfolds before me. um, I guess I'll repeat what I said before because of the fact that nobody could hear what I said before. Uh, no throwing today because the VTuber model is turned off. It's me. The VTuber model is turned off, and I don't even think that Tits is working properly because, uh, like, because Twitch is doing some kind of API system thing that's that's like fucking up with a lot of connection stuff. But so yeah, that's not working. But I did, as I stated during my muted times, get blurp working again, hopefully.
Bruh.
So you should be able to hear that now. So blurp channel points should be working again. Welcome back. Anyway, Sholmes. Well, that really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Herlock, not Herr. He's not German. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. Who is he?
That's Sabine!
See, it works. I hope. Can you hear it? King! I took... What? Read the sign! Those are your points. If you use channel points to throw things today, you're sacrificing your own points. There's no throwing today. Yep, see? No, you're wasting your points. There goes 100. And another 100. That's 300 points. 400 points that you just wasted. They're not going to work. It's not happening. Hair is what Natsume calls him. Yeah, the joke is that, like, it could be hair. I heard it for once. Yeah, I fixed it. There's no throwing today. Read the sign. Do I need to make it bigger? Here, let me make it bigger. No throwing today. I found some invisible fruit. And they don't even make a noise. Alright, then enough with the silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. Bacon. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My latest special blend. Make it flashy. Boogie style. Oh no, that gives me ideas. And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion, and a baby. A truly exceptional girl who's the author of the highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes as published in a Ranced magazine. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Ah, well, I received a letter from Japan. Oh, from Susie, you mean? Oh, was it really? That's right. And she has some rather startling news, in fact. Ah, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast. You're making me hungry. Oh yes, what fun. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah yes, the huge metal chest with the lace cloth laid on it, being used as a table for tea and coffee. From his wife, who clearly has shown that she has picked up a lot of his mannerisms. It's very sturdy, that's for sure, and firmly locked shut. That chest contains my father's detailed records of Hurley's many cases. Yes, so I've been led to believe, though personally I've never actually seen inside. And that's why the way it'll stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. If you go opening it uninvited, you might find yourself being bitten. What is there, a beast inside there or something? Ah! Yes. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. When it gets to this time of the year, Londoners seem to leave their hearths alight all day long, and I love it. Yeah, there's something very relaxing about watching the flames flit and dancing about. Foreshadowing. There's a snake in there, and it's been dead for years. But a fireplace in days of summertime is a waste of space. Really, no use at all. Rather like a great detective in days of no crimes and no criminals, huh, Harley? But consider this, instead of a fireplace, a frost place! That's my latest idea. Bro is about to invent AC. An extraordinary hearth from which emits a cool breeze on a hot summer month. In the hot summer months, what do you think? I think that if you invent such a thing, your name would go down in history. Thank you. Waggy will get him. Ah! Really excited for this case. It's funny. I am hoping so. And tragic. Oh, good. Is this one of the cases that has suicide in it? Do I need to post? Do I need to be worried? The principle is extremely simple. One must, of course, light a cold fire in the hearth. Well, there it goes. Yes, of course. Brilliant. Huh? The trouble is, none of the fires I build ever burn cold. How it taunts me. This is one. Okay, hey, everybody. Suicide warning. So, as you British say, it's a bit of a damp squid. A bit of a damp squid. Probably won't get that there today. We'll see. There are different pieces of evidence from cases you've solved, aren't they, Mr. Schultz? Not quite, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite. These trinkets are a selection of cases I've solved with a particular empum. They're souvenirs of my success. Memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories. Really. So tell me about the case in which the bust of Napoleon featured. I forgot. He forgot. Memories, you say. Wonderful, Mr. Sholmes. Wonderful. You see, he forgot. Books, paper, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gills. Mrs. Sato wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess. Susie might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves. Oh, why not? Everything in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Susie noticed it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset. Make it sound like a meeting of great minds. The truth is, Mr. Soames just needs to tidy up. We should be able to get to the end of the first investigation today. It'll probably take 2 to 3 hours. That's about what I expected, honestly. Especially since I'm going to be looking at everything. That machine really is imposing, isn't it? But I can never remember its name. Hurley calls it his great analytoscope. It can analyze anything at all. That doesn't really help. What does analyzing something even mean? Looking at it very closely. An extremely astute question, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry. Yay. I guess that was a bot that got caught. I'm assuming it was a bot that got caught. It was a bot that got caught because the thing still poked. Well, that got fucking... I'd really like that. It would be nice if it wouldn't allow for the thing to still show up in chat if it gets caught. Not to worry, it's super fun. All good. And somehow interpret those results. That's the key. I confess I have no idea. Okay, but what did he say before that? Well, as Iris said, the machine here spits out analysis results of anything with which you care to present. Oh! That's pretty cool. Clearly, I'm going to have to construct a great analytoscope to solve the problem. That might not help. If anything, it'll just make the problem worse. Can we look at his violin? Yeah, we can. Ah, yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous? Yes, it's a Stradivarius. Though I'm afraid you'd have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Runo. Didn't you buy it for a song, Mr. Sholmes? I found it at a pawnbrokery. Among the forfeit articles, it clearly said Stradivarius on the label. What? The ignorant broker had no idea of its true value, you see, so I paid a mere 55 shillings for it. Yes, I have something of a turn for shopping, Herlock Sholmes, bargain hunter. Well, that could be your next thing. These games are always far longer when streaming. Oh, yeah. But is it really a Stradivarius, then? But of course, my dear fellow, it said so on the label. I think perhaps the ignorant broker had something of a turn for selling. God. It's the blackboard. Ah, yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle. Yes, it's from a case of theft that Hurley solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone. Something keeps catching the corner of my eye, and I don't like it. Carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see. Especially if it's cut with a rounded top. Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it? Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered. Oh. So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case. The proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? I keep wanting to say Hairlock. I don't know why. Typing machine. I can type with my eyes shut, you know? I can believe it. When's the deadline approaching? When a deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun. That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me up, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake. That's incredible. But then, when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. No! She's saved. Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all. I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. Early morning make me sneezy. I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day. Well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time, so it's never the same twice. When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time. Oh yes, that's because different blends can have different properties. Ruff is probably still sleeping. Oh no, we might miss the boy if we make it to that point. Some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. Today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat. That sounds ominous. Alright, I think that's everything. Nothing particular? No. Okay, well, I think that's everything. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning, by international post. Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it. And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer in the Japanese Supreme Court and won the case. Apparently as my cousin? I don't know what's going on there. Not really? Oh, isn't she wonderful? A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. One case is two, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in this trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall the name. Of course you do. We helped the man twice! You know, in the two cases that took place in Briar Road 6 months ago, on Briar Road. This is 6 months since you left. Yes. Yeah, no, I caught that at the beginning of this. When I was reading for that nobody can hear. Oh, this case. Uh-oh. Ah, the mustache twitchy men with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache. You said mustache twice. You didn't have two mustaches, Hurley. Yes, who could forget those two cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Although, I must confess the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. Ah, Serraid! Hello! Hello. It's sweet. Welcome in. Normally, I'm oh, thank you for the follow. Normally, I am a One Piece pirate VTuber, but today I turned on my face cam, so you can see my face. Hello, it's me. Thank you very much for the raid in. What were you doing? How are you doing? Yeah. Look, this game is so ridiculous. You need to see me dying in real time. How's stream going? We just started. It's only been going for about 30 minutes now. Let me get you some shout outs here before I go. Go do an Ace Attorney too? Very good. Which one are you playing? Sweet. You're welcome. You were also playing Greatest Attorney Chronicles. Well, there's a lot of spoilers ahead because I'm on number 2. So, you know, be careful with the spoilers and such. So, if you want to run because of the spoilers, I do not blame you. I will be lurking. All right. Get that back up. Bushki. Also, apparently, we're on case 7 of them all. Yeah! Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate it. So what was the startling news penned by Mr. Sato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that the case of that nature did not occur. Totally forgotten that. Anyway, in her letter, Mrs. Sato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago, for what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Mr. Sato's father questioned him about the case, she says. and something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram. Oh, that case, yes! It was very strange, wasn't it? Yes. And I had compiled a whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said, very mysteriously as well. Really? I said that. Are you sure? Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Mr. Sato had suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan? Come on, tell us. Open up that mouth of yours. It's been 4 months since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan? Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because their father had passed away. No, he was supposed to be sick. No. It's just that he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. According to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse. A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Why would he do that? I had to admit, I have absolutely no idea, but she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodging. Okay, hold on. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. I gotta blow my nose. Blah. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Mr. Sato's father was hiding. Hurley, do you know what this is all about? Huh? Well, who can say? You're back in your detective clothing. Obviously you know something, you motherfucker. What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today, all of a sudden. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the front of my absence, would you, Iris? I will, Hurley. Don't worry. See you later. Oh, the best. He scuttled off rather quickly there. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Sosuke-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. But by, of all people, Mr. Sholmes. Aha! I've found them at last. Iris, are they? The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runa? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case, but perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light. Load the cannons! Shove Herlock in there. That's the spirit. Here we go. Time to go back into the past. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation to that fierce battle in the court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue. It's all and I have all the time in the world. Because of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck happened? I'm more interested in finding out what happened there. It's his fast travel. Gets him where he needs to go. It was 6 months ago. A mysterious incident that unfolded in the wintry streets of London. She was stabbed in the beak. A young woman was found laying in the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. He was banned because he leaked government secrets. Well, don't tell him government secrets then. Also, I hope that's not the truth. Oh! Oh yeah. Never mind, I remember now. This flashback is the day after Natsume's trial. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did kind of accidentally, well not accidentally, purposely leak government secrets to prove the fact that there was a deal struck literally in the middle of court. But not many people would know what it meant. But it is, yeah, no, okay, I remember now. That does make sense that he would be barred from practicing for a while because of that. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attack her, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Sosuke-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Here they are! Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Sosuke-san in court. And, after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. And the fact that the way that she was attacked was insane. Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilations was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to the Brats at once! So, Susato-san and I summoned a Hanson and headed immediately to the hospital. Rat! Rat! Look at him! Look at him over there! Don't scare off the rat, Sholmes! This flashback is the day, oh wait. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Yeah! There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh? You're late! What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes. It's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right. And it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. Time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is that I've been waiting here for what's felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy, and a feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at an hour. I sent one to you. Well, thank you for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Oh my god. She's adorable. You should introduce yourself. I shall observe from here. So that's a lady who was found in the snow-covered pavement with the knife in her back. Her name is... yes, here we are. Miss Green. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Rat! Rat! Eek! A mouse! That is not a mouse. Mr. Naruhodo, an enormous mouse! Vermin in the hospital. That doesn't seem the best. It looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure that we can say that's down to the excellence of the facility, if that's what you're thinking. Let's pick him up. Let's take him home. Let's put him. Let's make him our pet. Right. Round and rodent figure isn't the most charming, is it? That's mean. I don't think it's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist mannequin, I believe. Used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Really? It's not exactly what you call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? Went to the store because I saw Beyblades. Here we go with the Beyblades again. We're on sale for the only ones that they had and I didn't already have were the ones that I wasn't interested in. I get it. I understand. Gotta get them Beyblades. No, I suppose not. I confess that I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. Health rat. He's a mandatory pet to help out the recovering. Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Look, there's a photograph in the frame here. Ooh. Oh, yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps this young woman's special someone, do you think? It could be her brother. My, Mr. Naruhodo, I didn't know you had such a sense of matters of the heart. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. This looks like patient treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What? What is this place? A zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes. This is a person. Poor woman. Nope, she hasn't read this. Probably a lover. Could be a brother. Who knows? Lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? If you were a patient here, I feel you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry. But at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's a flimsy-looking one. Oh, I have no doubt that you managed to unlock that somehow, while you were half asleep as well. There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mrs. Sato. Alright, time for me to go. Have a good rest of the stream. Alright, JT, thanks for popping by. Appreciate it. Yeah. This looks like the treatment notes for whoever is occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so he or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear. How worrying. Poof! No, you're cute. Also, annoyingly, some they have on sale. I just bought it full price. Ouch. Oh. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. Alright, is that everything? Oh, nope. There are all sorts of medicines in the cabinet. Morning throat. I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this. Yes, you're right. I can't imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two. Well, at least there's been a little lock to secure the cabinet doors. I don't imagine it would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock. Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know. Sato really doesn't trust him right now. I don't know what happened. Hello, ma'am. Good morning? Oh no, she said. Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh no, was it your knife? Are you the man who? No. I'm a lawyer. I am Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come and give you our best wishes. She's very depressed, yeah. Best wishes for me? Thank you. She's an artist. I'm Olive. Olive Green. I'm an artist. I said that already. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is I'm trying to be an artist. No, you're an artist. See, that's the problem with a lot of people who do art, including myself at one point. If you draw or paint or do whatever is considered an artistic thing, whether you're a professional or not, you're an artist. You get me? You understand that? You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. Now you're an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. You weren't stabbed. I don't think that's related, actually. Bro, shaking the mic. You fucking listen here. I'm gonna fucking tell you. There we go. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day. The fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? While I was here in the hospital, I mean. Ah! Indeed it has, my dear madam, spectacularly, by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. The gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was so selfish of me. Don't... Shut up, girl! Oh no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are. That kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. What's up? So you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. No, you're an artist. I mean, I'm a student of art, really. I'm at Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Whoa. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh no. Actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat in Brixton Road. Why you gotta put yourself down so much? Also, what's that in your hair? I see. How very interesting. Oh no, is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Center. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the Maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means, I suppose Sosuke-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. After all, that's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up. Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself. Praying into a young maiden's private affairs. Oh, dear me, do forgive me. If you don't mind, I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack my things. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. God, the fuck! Is there a Mr. Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder? Narrow Fodder? No? Are you looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer? That's me, but... Ah! Mr. Narrow Fodder. Good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nut... Mr. Saucy Nutmegs. Mr. Natsume sent a message to me. Ah. But why would a policeman be delivering the message from Mr. Natsume? Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing a delivery boy at this time in the morning? Ah, what are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. It's something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? You literally just grabbed it out of my hands. It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls, a case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Murder? Call a cab. It's time. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all in the note here, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Wait, what? I'll hail a Ferris at once. He didn't get arrested literally right after we got him off the hook, did he? Like, come on. It was only yesterday that Sosuke-san was in court, and we were dispelling the doubts about his innocence. Now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address. He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. So it seems to us at the time. We're soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Well, he's not dead. Oh, that motherfucker. What on earth? Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead! Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday when I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this. No early bird could catch a worm like this. Woeful worm without wiggle. Not the real Slim Shady. How could this happen to me? I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah! It's horrible. Hair like Sholmes. Shoo, shove off. Show yourself the door. I never invited you. Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume. I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Arrgh. Hi. Here they are already. The busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? It gives me heartburn every time I see your face in a crime scene, Sholmes. Ha! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried foods. Ooh, got him there. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Or good morning to you, Sunshine. So, what happened? Damn it. I said hands off. It mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look at it, that's all. No chance, I know your kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Curry? Is it delicious? So, Inspector, what's the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shamespeare. Yeah. Okay. He was the lodger here. As you can probably... fuck. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss, as it happens. Or just dead. That's in terrible taste. Mr. Shakespeare. Yeah, oh, I know. I get it. He's William Shakespeare rather than Shakespeare. Fuck. Well, that went down the wrong pipe. It was the landlord, Mr. Girideb, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Girideb got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Girideb have a bad leg? Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Sosuke-san. The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. It was a criminal. No, like sham. Oh, sham spear. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter. You're blaming him because he just looks suspicious? Oh, Gregsy, your racism is showing again. The ducks throw bread at him. No! You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. It's literally been a couple of days. It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as an odd fellow, doesn't he? Well, man. How unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. Have you met the man? He looks suspicious as hell, but he does have evidence. He better, because literally it sounds like he just got home, and then he helped to kick the door down. I don't think the fella's been a goner that long. The body's still warm. Really? And if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Mr. Natsume, what did you do? What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room was the one story up, isn't it? That's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? Don't look suspicious right now. What's the matter with Sosuke-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But he never invited me into his room. Never! On my honor, I swear it! What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking for you to come. Through that inspector over there. Shulbs, what are you doing? Shulbs, get down from there. That's not your stage, Shulbs. You get down from there this instant. Bad boy. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? You need only observe to know, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. He's walking like an Egyptian. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room for 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At present time, I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. The first was that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Ah! Ah! Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No, don't mind me. I forget I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Ah! Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please. Pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. Probably a gas leak. Yeah, it's fine. But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions. Presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've already heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. But miracles will unfold before our eyes this time. So, my dear fellow, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Harlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular Act 1! Man, we're already here, huh? That didn't take long. The game is afoot! Cause of death. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolidated room last night. Oh, he's got some foam on his mouth. He had rabies! Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice is a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's Last Supper, in fact? Yes! Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Don't look at me, Sasuke, I don't know. It appears the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by the poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. Cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though previously, personally, I have a great interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Poisoning from soap ingestion. There's the suicide mentioned. Cause of death identified. We proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw the conclusions on this meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. A careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key is in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in a tragic solitude. He can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was cleansed on its way to the hereafter. No possible perpetrator present. Thus concludes the final act of Herr Lockstins' Great Deductions. No holes in any of that logic. It's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You're disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruto? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? And it's quite apparent that this man barely had barely a penny to his name. It's a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. How extraordinary. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was a long time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. And did it? I was writhing in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach. Yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It is an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't have eaten it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh? What's that? It's Mr. Natsume. Ah! I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow. Nonsense. Well, clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Tamer's playing Repo. We gotta abandon ship. Everybody out. We gotta go play Repo. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls on us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the key words in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, are you committed to... for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise on Herr Lockstins' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular Act 1. The correction. I have to blow my nose again. The allergies are acting up a lot today. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired on this this consulted room last night. Foam at the mouth, the disease clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we noticed a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why was this soap set so purposefully upon this dish like the victim's last supper? In fact, yes! It could be that the man was about to eat it, of course. The fork reveals the answer. Well, you can't deny that the fork implies the man was eating something. Or about to eat something. Yeah, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I would prefer to use a fork than attempt it with chopsticks. And of course, 1/2 of a bar of soap is left on the plate. But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap? That's not important? Okay. Okay, what? Oh. So, that's as far as I can look. I can't spin around too much. Do you think he was drinking tea with his soap? Cup's empty, so there's no way of knowing. How about this for an idea? Perhaps the cup was full of water. He was dissolving soap in it so he could gulp it as much as possible. Please remember that he may not actually have been a soap lover that he's been made out to be. Never mind. I suppose you'd eat soap with a fork, huh? I don't think it's a question of which implement you'd use. You shouldn't eat soap at all. But then why? Why does the man have a fork in his hand? Oh dear, I understand your frustration, Mr. Naruto, but please don't take it out on me. The point is, if we decide that the man used this fork to eat the soap, we wouldn't be changing Mr. Shone's deduction. So we really ought to consider some other clues. Oh, hey, there's the other half of the soap. Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspear must really have loved the stuff. Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at the soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half the bar on the table? What the? How can that be? I think that there are 2 halves of the same bar that broke apart.
Take that!
The other piece of soap! Could it be that the man was about to eat it, of course? The other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really. For no depth of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. That begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched with a foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by the poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Mr. Solmes is still pushing the soap argument. Or perhaps he's suggesting that the man licked the soap rather than ate it. If the soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I'd want to be washing my hands with it. But there's no sign of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? I mean, the teacup, I assume? Yes, a Western vessel for serving infusions of dried tea leaves. It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo. As you well know, stop putting on airs. And it's empty. So we already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea. My thoughts exactly. Okay, so it is a tea.
Take that!
Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups that have been the vessels of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Test it. Poison in the tea. Suicide or murder? Cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, which we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurring during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? Or this single teacup suggests the answer. The Western vessel for fused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deduction so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspeare was having a drink of tea. And there would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues. This stain feels important, but they won't let me look at it. Oh! Well, what do you know? There's another teacup. Boy, his rigor mortis set in quick, huh? It's a teacup! And it's too empty. It too is empty. Given he's actually holding this in his hand, we can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamspeare was actually drinking. But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we deduced up to now is turned on its head. I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it. Yes, I know exactly how you feel.
Take that!
The other teacup suggests the answer. Did the man dine and die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were two teacups in the room all along. Ah! In other words, this is a strong indication that the victim's Last Supper was just there was a guest present. Is that the fucking banker? Are you guys saying the banker did it? Like, I remember the banker guy. Are you saying he did it? At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in the room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly unbelievable, unjustly unreasonable! To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, sir. It's just a silhouette. Okay, I'll believe you. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say that you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed. What reveals the answer is, of course, this broken lock. I'm not sure I like where the deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victims passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about. Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. No, I suppose not. I'm gonna look around again. Broken lock, a broken pedal bottle, empty. It's empty. Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it? It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time. Brother, Susato-san's quip in response was cleverer than my original riddle. Suddenly I have to go before that. No! It's okay. Try to catch the rest. Alrighty. You have a good one. Thanks for dropping in. At first glance, it seems that the only thing in this room were the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I wonder what they are. Let's see. The title read, the picture of Montesquieu Lecoeur, Lecoq, I don't know how to say that, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gaberu. Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before. Aren't these the books that were, like, dropped outside? Could be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day. What? Yeah, on the day of that unfortunate incident when Mr. Green was stabbed. Sosuke-san had just been at been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right. And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Fuck, I can't read right now. Yeah, Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think? I really don't know what to make of it. It's a familiar pile of books.
Take that!
Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is this pile of familiar books. Quite so. And it's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in the room. It's the link to the truth. Ah! Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at the secondhand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment? No, never! Non-negotiable! If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Oh! Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So, you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded in the Old Bailey. In short, there's only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in the room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night the victim had a visitor. And that visitor was you, Mr. Sosuke Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' Great Deduction. At the scene. Deduction complete. Elementary. Poor Sosuke. Just got out of prison. Not again, not again, not again! Not again! Now then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear that you've got, gonna have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But wait! Halt your horses! Yes? Door, key, locked! Entry, exit! Entirely impossible! He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal. What, you think that's an alibi? Yeah, you could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building after all. You'd have to had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But... Misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. Facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. Ah, you horrible hairlock Sholmes! He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now. No dilly-dallying outside. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me, please! Please, I'm innocent! Alright, I understand. Well, come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. We'll feed the kitty, don't worry. We got Wagahay. We got the boy. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Sosuke-san found himself once again in the prime suspect in the case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Yeah, it was both of us, yeah. His initial deduction was that there was a suicide, so... Well, at least that means that Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in a bit more detail. Yes, that's right. And of course... What? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamespeare. Ah, Mr. Garadeb, yes. I expect we could find him in the sitting room on the top floor as usual. Right. We must remember to go and talk to him, later then. Examine the room! Oh, that poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose that it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry? I made sure I had a reference to this ready, just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now, one moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Oh, that's very, look at these extravagant bright clothes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady ongoings. This one looks like a king's attire. King. I always dreamt of being a king. Oh, I think you'd be more suited as a feudal lord, a daimyo, or such like. With a chon mage top knot, every Japanese man wishes he had a chon mage. Oh, but you'd look wonderful with one, and you already have the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chon mage and a sword? I can't believe that there wasn't a joke that he would be the jester. Susato is a very good girl. If that was Maya, she would have definitely told him that he would make more of a jester than a king. That's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. Both of them are cracked. Yeah, not much use, are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Prosecutor Lord Von Seeks. Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I thought I was gonna sneeze. He's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and he should donate some to the needy. You can suggest that the next time we meet, which may be soon. As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that the Bretons had to pay. What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had on the property. It's extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think that the poor are having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh, what is it, Mr. Sato? If you look closely, a number of bricks are loose. Oh! Oh! Look, more soap! Oh yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamespeare who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting the room? Look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside of the little ledge, there's something on it. Wait, outside? It's so cold outside, you can feel it through this gap. It did snow all last night, yeah, so it could feel cold. But more importantly, what is that on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are a bar of soap doing lining on the ledge of outside the window? I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, it's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all. Oh dear. I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap. Ah! Do you see that in the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's some sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. It looks like a Hinamaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? Oh, wonderful. It's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? Then what's it doing in a ramshackle room like this? Bar of soap added to the court record. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. I can't find anything out of place. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This part's a different color. It's an exquisite design, isn't it? No, this was definitely shoved in. Trust the British in turning a boring bar of soap into something special. I quite like it. It reminds me of the Hinamaru design of the Japanese flag. I expect that it's a rather expensive soap. That doesn't seem likely, given who it belongs to. This was clearly shoved in. You can't try to pop it out? Okay. We got the nearby street still, the second book receipt still, and we got my badge. And here we have another disproportionately large machine that looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, that's a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for their gas as they use it with coins. Oh, I see. Yes, you pointed it out. I can see that there are some slots here that look like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here? That's right. That would buy you 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold. Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your coins at the bank. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to the gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas. They're farting up a storm. That's why they have beans on toast to power the gas. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's much cozier. This is some sort of makeshift stage? I was looking at the box. Okay. Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? And then you could practice your art every single day. I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. She would do it. She would do it for her hubbo. Ugh. Fuck. A particular note. Okay. Well, does that mean that I missed something, or does that mean that they're... Oh, I did miss something. What's this? It looks like a part of an envelope, I think. Yes, I think you might be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is that significant? Well... It's a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter, or the rest of the envelope. In fact, she's right. And yet, here we have a torn-off end of the envelope. Just strikes me as unusual. I agree. I better take this just in case. Torn-off end of an envelope. Can we look at it? Can we examine it? We can examine it. Yes. Yes. I see. Whoever opened the envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angles of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed. Mr. Sato, I think perhaps someone has been reading too much of the adventures of Harlock Jones. You never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Never! Would the angle really suggest a right-handed person? I don't think that really suggests that they were actually right-handed. But, sure. Whatever you say, Susato. Look at all the places we could go. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. We're here because Mr. Garadeb is the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget. Hey bud, how's your wife doing? Is she in jail? Ah, you chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. Yeah, it was quite the trial. As much as Mr. Garadeb is as anyone, really. Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more Bali nonsense this morning. I wonder, if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garadeb? Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about the dead loss of an actor chap. That dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Let me stand up. It must have been a real shock for you this morning to hear that you discovered what had happened. Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap raises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door. Not a barely answer. And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door. Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't that a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have overslept by half an hour. It's very true, Mr. Naruto. If 30 minutes over sleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning. Well, you know, better be safe than sorry and all that. Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Why are you like this? What information are you hiding from us, you stupid bastard? Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that found you on the far side of the door. Victim's name was Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shamspear. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now. And how would you describe him? In a word, destitute. Destitute? Wow. Well, let's face it. The only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose. So hard to choose which category Sosuke-san would fall into. Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude. Don't read my mind, Susato. He was doing research as well. Research? On what? Shakespeare, of course, Shakespeare! Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. Yes, William Shakespeare. A bunch of things that I didn't read. William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. Okay. You're alive! Welcome in, Balroth. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his work have already been translated. It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Yeah, someone was too heavy. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there? Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamspeare would have had much in common. Shakespeare's interpretation disagreement leads to the shocking murder. Let's hope that's not that. Mr. Naruhodo, really? How rude. Stop reading my mind! After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time. Scary to have noticed that there was no lights from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much. So I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspeare got back. And the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. I suppose he met his ends at some time after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. No, thank you. That's very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mr. Sato? Well, I was just thinking, it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garadeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I understood correctly. Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg. Then, how is it that you seem to know the precise movements of your tenants on the ground floor? That's a very good point. I can imagine that you could. I can't imagine that you hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? You're breaking your pipe again. I say, I know what you're thinking, and it's a belly outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? That doesn't help, actually. I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I? Then how do you know, Mr. Garrett? It's the gas woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? Speaking gas? Gas can't talk. What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you everything, let alone anything, and let alone everything? Well, as you're properly aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I'd more or less worked that out. Every morning in the building is connected. Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside, and the gas company supplies gas to the properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamp up there. What would you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms in the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why? A change in the gas flow? Perhaps it's because when you light the gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual, and that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it? Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable. Jolly good points. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless. Long worn out. And barely any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamp up here, and they glow brighter in the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So, by watching the flickering of the lamp in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it. Oh, of course. Because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Clever. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above us is slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house. Gosh! That's fascinating, Mr. Garrett. Absolutely fascinating. Oh well, nothing to it really, and I can't really see what's going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garrett was so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. Oh, hey! This got straightened. Good to see Mr. Garrett's Medal of Honor is still proudly displayed on the wall. Inscription reads, "For distinguished participation," if you remember. Yeah, I remember, because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that. Stretch. It's important. Wouldn't know it to look at me now, perhaps, but I had devil may care days, my devil may care days, you know? Devil may care. What'd you get up to? Did you know that Von Zeke's voice actor did a Subway commercial? Everybody's got to start somewhere. Well, all in the past now, of course. Best left there. Best not, I want to know now. Very dashing in your uniform, Mr. Garrett. Ah, that old portrait, eh? Drawn by some art student who used to rent the room downstairs. Oh, you look so wonderfully young and courageous and strong. Yes, well, the chap presented it to me one day and asked if I'd let him off the month's rent in return. Ah, I see. So you did, presumably. I probably well did not. Oh. A portrait is a portrait, but rent is rent, eh? And yet it's still proudly on the wall. Well, it's at an angle, so I wouldn't call it proudly. Yes, the enormous mortar shells. Yeah, it's quite something seeing them so up close, isn't it? Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Garadeb? Ah, you remember, do you? Just a little mishap that occurred during training one day. What are you doing firing at your own men? The captain bellowed at me. I'm not surprised. A little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it? Well, one has their little incidents when one's a hot-headed young private. Perhaps I should put some evidence that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display. Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies in his finest moments? Ibeshki. That's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Garadeb? Well, ceremonial garb, yes. I've been hanging on the wall ever since my retirement bash. Not in active service now, you know. Doesn't mean much to me anymore. I could have the old, you could have the old thing if you wanted it. Well, it might suit Lord Von Seeks, perhaps. An overly ostentatious outfit like that could be just what he needs. Very tactful, Miss Sato. Very tactful indeed. Cannon! There's a single apron draped on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look. No, no, Mr. Naruhodo, that's a real cannon. I knew that. I was just testing you. Piece of history it is. Seen plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you. Now the old girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement together. And of course, she'd come in handy if the enemy decided to launch an attack again. Is there a war going on that I don't know about? And we know that scene, what that scene is hiding now. Screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day. Don't suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for anytime soon now. Oh dear. This must be a difficult situation for you. I'll say, people talk about twists of fate and whatnot. But this is a twist and a half, a rotten show all around. He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Yeah, you guys almost killed somebody. Ah, the cakes are still bashed up. That's an impressive collection of cakes on that fancy silver cake stand. I feel sure that it was full of cakes when we first investigated here as well. Yes, quite right. Haven't touched it since. Haven't done much at all, really, since it all happened. Time's rather stood still for me, you know. Welcome back, Raph. I have to resort to cannon at the top of the stairs, loaded with grape shot. Tally ho, lads. Oh. Time has stood still. Now that's an interesting phrase. I might be able to use that that excuse when I'm next supposed to tidy up the office. Could just tidy up, Mr. Naruhodo. Stop reading my mind, Susato. Stop it. I don't know what it is, so I have no idea. These shelves look like they've been completely torn apart by a wild beast. Reminds me of the Battle of Maywand. Don't you know? The experiences of a seasoned veteran. Enemy had us surrounded on all sides. We really thought we were done for. The old Bali Company. They were taking a real pounding from their cannons, so all we could do was run for our lives. Oh, no, I thought the story was going to be going a different direction, actually. Well, the whole experience taught me one thing, and I can tell you. When you're done for, you're really done for. That's not what a lawyer who often finds himself under the fire wants to hear. The sham spear moment? No. Okay. Well, I have more to look forward to. Books. Oh, a copy of Rent's magazine. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful? Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He was most certainly singularly dangerous. That's genuine public opinion for you, Miss Sato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories. Make no mistake, Mr. Naruhodo, I intend to snuff out all sort of public opinion we just heard personally. I'm starting to see where Mr. Sholmes' untainted reputation comes from. Turns out that she's been running around forever. Nope, I wanted to present soap. Mr. Greydab, could I show you this? Quite a couple of days, as you can imagine. I'm afraid I'm rather tired. I haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you. Some other time, then. About this. Mr. Greydab, could I show this to you? Okay. Damn it. Alright. Guess we could head to Briar Road really quick. With the exception of the top floor, where Mr. and Mrs. Greydab live, all the windows are bricked up. Yes, that's because the old window tax that was charged on a number of Windows properties had. In order to pay less taxes, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. The tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely. Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up inside of a windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in a very cheap accommodation. Turns out the one-time class is really beat 12 weeks. What? What are you talking about? It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. Can we specifically see the soap? No. Okay. Always seems like, to be a bicycle outside the Greydab's residence. I heard the bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact. It seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Think you have to go back to the crime scene to progress? I mean, I haven't been everywhere yet. Is that to make it more of a challenge ride, do you think? No, I'm afraid that this may be the result of the rider's incompetence. The front wheel's so badly warped, I'm afraid that the rider may have been slightly afflicted. And there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think. Oh dear, I fear you may be right. Oh, it's actually 12 weeks. Ow. The snowman! How would somebody build the snowman on some sort of pedestal, you think? That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body. Really? But it's already got a perfectly good body. Well, it's true the British snowmen are usually made of 2 balls of snow. Perhaps it's a foreigner. And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels. If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? William Robbins. Alright, let's go to prison really quick, and then we'll head back to the crime scene if that's really what needs to be done. Okay. Back to the crime scene it is. I mean, I feel like I examined everything. No particular note. Oh, nope. It seems like I examined everything. It's just a dead body. What? Ah, so one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guests drank from last night. Don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking any. Don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true. So one was Mr. Shamspear's. The other must have been the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from. We meant to finish here before leaving. I thought I got everything. That Sosuke-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. We got the cups. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Hold on, shut up. No, pay attention to me. Shut up. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, look at that. And this must be the cup Mr. Shamspear was drinking from. The stain on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Oh, really? Never noticed before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese. And this is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking. Wait, is Shamspear still alive? Is he about to pop up? Yes, unlike the other one inside of the cup, it's completely clean. I suppose he must have drank the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, if you just sip it little by little, it gets cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you on the proper way to take tea. There's no tea ring in the other one. Okay. Either. Alright. Oh, okay. Hey, Gregson. Back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fellow in the clink, I went and reported to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we better be leaving then. Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in the cell again so soon. I'm sure. We should probably go and... What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah! Out, brief candle. Life but a walking shadow. A poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. Now, how soundeth the next part? It's a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed! Oh, happy day! Oh, God! What? Walking Dead! Man rises from the dead, quotes Shakespeare, and crumbles like a pretzel. So he's in the hospital now, I hope? The fella isn't dead at all! No shit. What was that nonsense he was saying, though, Shakespeare? I think, yes, it's a quote from Macbeth. Of course it is. From William Shakespeare's Macbeth. So happy I didn't miss this. He fucking Gmod ragdolled it. I don't have a soundboard. I need to get a soundboard. Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare. So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime, whatever that was now. So it's not a murder; it's now an attempted murder. Popeye, what are you doing here? Ugh. What do you ever think will happen now? Good question. A strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for a murder, but then the victim comes back to life. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Chair! It's me. It's my face. How you doing, dude? Until the truth is established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cell. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? Yeah, looks like he's trying to see into Sosuke-san's lodgings. What? No, that's not Sosuke-san's lodging. That's the ground floor. Head emptiest week of my life so far, but otherwise fine. Hey, you know, better head empty than full of thoughts that are bad. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo. Excuse me. Could I have a word? Yar. Ah! Fuck no. He just up and left. I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? I do too, but I don't remember. Popeye noises. Well, we've done as much investigating as we can here, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. A good idea! Some of the head emptiness led to bad thoughts, though. No! Would have been telling those thoughts to piss off. Good. Ba 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 ba. Ah, there he is. You know, he might be part of the Fae clan with how many times that he's ended up inside of the fucking cell. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now? Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, yes? What is he? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes. He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost. But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me... Ah, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you! Well, that sort of hurts. Credit where credit's due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too. Yes, moving on. We have wonderful news. Oh? The victim that we thought was dead has come back to life again. Now, in an absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? It's terrible! Oh? I'm stuck in this cell suffering from some silly wrong end of the stick. You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're the killer. Why the mustache? Constant questions! I'm sorry to hear that. Ah, that selfish shyster! Make up your mind, are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William! Von Seek's plushie came in. Oh no! Is it tiny? Is he just a little guy? Does he have a tiny wine glass that he can throw? Because he's actually an action plushie? Ah, yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased he's alive, of course. Lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think if it was our last. Oh! Oops. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Hi. Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story. He doesn't have a wine glass, but that's okay. Aww. Susato action plushie. You can't throw her. She throws you. Now, why am I cursed like this? Make a felt glass. Yay. Alright, I can't examine. Fine. What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell, but Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that cursed case yesterday. Couldn't find my front door around the corner. What? The case of the poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. It just grabs me by the pinky and just slams me around in the room. Yep. Yeah, it's hard to believe that it was only yesterday. For me, it was like 3 weeks ago. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back into my lowly lodgings. That evening, at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear. So, you did go to the victim's room, then? As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before, and it was the first time. Then, what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house, and we got chatting. It developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That times in with what Mr. Garrett had said. The victim went out and came back after 8. I think you missed the other thing I said before reading that, did I? Oh, yeah, I did. Looks like I wasn't the only head-empty person that day. The pizza delivery guy walked into the store under my house and got confused. I might order pizza. I'm hungry. Anyway, we met later that evening at around 9. Just after when I took him some nice tea that I'd brewed as a gift. So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then. And I suppose that you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Hungry. Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate. I'm sure. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare! It is very fascinating. And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspear's tea. Inosuke, hold up, bro. No, never! Not at all! Team Juliet won. That was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting a fit. I swear it's categorically. Wahapo. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. Yeah, Natsume tops for sure. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in the time I've learned that it's no place for me. I'm very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. And there are foreigners everywhere I look. And they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite for my fears. I have moved from time to time, more times than I can remember. And then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. Well, why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It didn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap and I have so little money. It spoke to me. The rent? Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? Previous occupant, the man who lived there before me and that took the room, died there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean that I could buy more books, I signed the lease for, like, lightning. Brave, or blinkered. But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I've done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful? The horrible history. So, is there actually a gas leak in the 2 rooms? And that's what really happened? Is that he was just knocked out by a gas leak? How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. Do you think that might have been that your mind playing tricks on you? No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All of the souls who have died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me. It's his cat. Love in the air. Wrong gas leak. Really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Shakespeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, I know it. That's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodations with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself will become history. Whew. Susato-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course, Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garrett? Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent the room out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Ah, perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. Yeah, there must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants and he lets in the room. What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps? Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please, forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my backs as well. What's important is that Mr. Shakespeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around, he'll be able to tell us what happened and we'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right. Excuse me. He's dead. Inspector Gregson! I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh, which do you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Alright, well, in that case, the good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier explaining everything that way. Then don't ask. And why did you ask me for my presents? Imagine Susato grabbing a waiter. Huh? Excuse me, my husband asked for no pickles. Oh. As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, was just unconscious. He'd come round. Yes, we saw it happen all in all its terrifying glory. He's still being treated by the doctors, but we managed to get a written statement from him already. Oh, good! That's the bad news, then. That's wonderful, Mr. Natsume. Oh, thank goodness it's all over, then. I can leave this somber cell? Sorry, no. That's not in the cards. What? Why ever not, Inspector? Mr. Shakespeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened to him. Implicated someone? Oh dear. You don't mean... I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Ah! By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. That wickedest cat, Sosuke Natsume. Sosuke. No! I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be waiting to make the necessary preparations. No! He's salty you lost the wrestling match. Seems so. And so once again, Sosuke-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. Save? Save? Give me the save. To be continued. Yep. Yay! Cool. Because I'm hungry. I need to order food and enjoy my last couple hours of freedom before work starts. So, thank you very much for everybody who came out to watch today. If you're still hanging around, thank you very much for the raid and the follow earlier. Everyone, let's hit the showers. Good job, wrap it up. We're gonna go ahead and find somebody to raid over here on the Twitch side. Let's see who's doing stuff and doing things. Greg! Greg's live. He's doing Hat in Time. Let's raid Greg. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody who came out today. I hope you have yourselves a good time. I may be back tomorrow. If not, then it will be on Friday when I do my next stream. But I appreciate everybody. I hope you have a good one. Get off of my ship. Bye!